proud of this team, man. Really proud of the way they finished, and every part of our program is designed to finish the right way. And I thought we did that today, playing probably our most complete game that we've had all season in all three phases. So really proud of the leadership shown by the 18 guys that exhausted their eligibility, and our team sending these guys out the right way. Obviously, our defense has been improving all year long, and one of the things that I really liked was just seeing the mental intensity of how we played a week ago against Ohio State, them being able to carry it over and have their first shutout since we joined the Big Ten, which is a great feat, no matter the opponent. Did a tremendous job holding the 1 of 13 on third down and really limiting the explosive plays. Offensively, we were efficient, but we weren't perfect. The 2 turnovers early in the game were very costly as we were, moving the ball down the field in a productive way. It was great to see Talia continue to build on his legacy here, breaking records of some great quarterbacks that have come before him in a short period of time. It's really been 2 years and about 5 games when you count up the opportunities he's had. So obviously he's played at a high level here the last couple of weeks, and it was great to see Jay Sean Jones finish his career here pretty much the way he started. And so, the offensive line continuing to do a great job of protecting our quarterback. Now we're excited to be able to finish. We have hit a couple of marks here where the first time we're winning 4 games in the Big Ten season was big for us, finishing 7-5, a little better than a year ago, which continues the right kind of trajectory by our team. And then we get to sit back and get healthy, wait to see how things shape out here in the Big Ten and find out where we're going to go bowling. So really a complete game by the Terps today in all 3 phases, and really proud of the way our seniors have led us. With that, I'll open it up to questions.
Mike, could you expand on what you guys were able to do defensively today? The approach, the execution. I think you guys had 5 3-and-outs in the first half.
Yeah, it starts with the mental intensity. Approaching the game with the right kind of mindset. Our defense, a week ago, I thought, as I sit in here, that we pretty much fought one of the better teams in the country, if not the best team in the country, for 4 quarters. And I really liked the way we carried that over, playing really sound football. Today was more about doing the simple things better. Wasn't a big scheme thing, wasn't something where we went in and saying, hey, here's the special things we have to do. It was just about doing simple better, and our defense really did a good job of that early in the game, and then they finished it the right way.
How is Talia feeling, and what is that conversation like with him when you're trying to figure out if and can he keep going in the second half there?
He finished the game, so he's great. I didn't hear if there was anything. Again, he's been battling a knee. It was a bruise a week ago. It was the same injury. He fell on top of the knee, which is a little sore. It's not something that I decide. It's all about the medical people and what he's able to do. So if he's available, we play him. If he's not, then we go to the next guy.
I don't think you had any penalties until at least into the second half today. And what was the biggest key to getting that cleaned up?
I guess our mental focus in all 3 phases. Looked up and we had no penalties going into the 4th quarter. Obviously, we took the delay game on the punt to kill time, but would have liked to see us finish a little better without having any. But I think, as we continue to mature, as I say, we're not there yet. We're a program that's still in its developmental stage, and we're getting really close. And so I like good teams don't beat themselves in a day. And from a penalty standpoint, I thought we did a decent job.
Michael, you mentioned Talia kind of building his legacy a little bit today. What's he meant for you and for this team in 2+ seasons, and what he's been able to do as you try to build a program to have a quarterback like that?
Obviously the old adage, if you got a quarterback, you got a chance, and I feel really good that we've got a quarterback. I continue to see the growth in him. Sometimes it's trying because he's a competitive individual that wants to go out and be the best version of himself with each and every play. What he's been able to do for us, obviously, to go to back-to-back bowl games. When he's on, we're usually on, and that's kind of how it goes with that position. And so really proud of the way he's continued to mature. We still got some things to get cleaned up, and we'll still continue to work to get him better at every aspect of being a true quarterback, and we're looking forward to being able to do that.
Just to follow up on that, when you were recruiting him at Alabama, in terms of when he was transferring, what did you see on the field down there that you thought was going to translate here, and has it even, surpassed your expectations?
Yeah, I mean, having known the kid since I think going into like his 9th or 10th grade with the process of being there recruiting his brother, I've said this before, I mean, when you throw for over 14,000 yards in high school between 2 states, whether it's Hawaii, he moves over to Birmingham, plays in the highest level of football there in the state of Alabama, took a program very much like ours that was probably not one of the top programs in that area, but he elevated the program in high school. He's a winner, he's competitive, he throws the ball really well. He's a guy that just makes plays for us, and so what he's been able to do here, I'm not surprised. I still think there's more, and it's my job to get it out of him. Our job to make sure we're doing the things that he's capable of executing. So it's great to see him be able to come here and the things that we expected him to do, he's been able to do, and he's done it at a really high level for the most part.
And just to follow up, we talked about his toughness, we talked about your competitiveness. How has that carried over to the locker room, to the games themselves with other guys, his leadership?
Yeah, his leadership, I mean, he can sometimes rub people the wrong way because he is so competitive, but that's what that position is all about. When you're in a position of leadership, everybody's not gonna like you or like what you have to say, and I can tell you that he's much like a coach on the field. When things aren't going the way they should go for us on offense, he has no problem speaking his mind. I really like the maturity that he's starting to show. Is there some room to grow for sure? I'm big on the body language, and I'd love to see him, keep a neutral mindset when good things happen and bad things happen, and he continues to work on it. But I have no problem with the type of leadership that he provides our team. I think he's a guy that people respect because of the work he puts in. He's not one of those guys that's a front runner. I mean, he's one of the best workers we have in our program, and he's very demanding of his teammates, which is a good thing.
Hey, Mike, you talked about consistency all week. How satisfying was the second half in that regard? You go to halftime, 17 points, would have won you the game, but to be able to continue your level throughout the rest of the game after halftime.
I was happy with it today, but the good teams do it every day, and that's where, for me, if you were to take a quick look back at our season, the things that jump out to me is to play our top 2 teams in our league toe for toe, and then not necessarily show up in some other games. Our opponents need to be faceless and nameless, and we need to come with the same mentality regardless of who you're playing. Today we were able to do it, I think, in back-to-back weeks with the mental intensity that you want to see. It's not perfect, and that's great because we still got some things to grow with. We'll use these extra practices that a bowl affords us to get back to doing the basic things, as I said, the simple things better fundamentally. And like I said, be able to start and kickstart the 23 campaign with our bowl game. As we talk about, this is the end of our season. The next game is the start of our next season. So it's going to be really important that we put the work in and get off to a fast start with our bowl game.
Hey, Coach. Not a huge day for you guys running the ball, but you were able to when you needed to on the goal line. How did it feel? You came to the seasons wanting to establish that. How have you felt about your run game throughout the season?
Our run game has been a work in progress. I think we're further ahead, maybe this year than we have been from a consistency standpoint. But, to me, what I've said again is, you want to win in the Big Ten. It starts with how you play in November. And in November in the Big Ten, it's going to be cold, it's going to be wet, it's going to be windy. We've got to go out and get some offensive linemen and defensive linemen that have the ability to play in that type of weather, cover people up. I thought our group that we've played with this year has, from the time I got here till the last game here today, has exponentially improved and really have laid a foundation, but now we've got to go build on it because we lose quite a few of those guys, and we'll be going out Friday in search of some guys that can help us win in November in the Big Ten.
And then for you personally, hitting 7 wins, it's an incentive in your contract. How does it feel to bet on yourself and to have that bet rewarded?
Man, you're my agent, huh? What percentage you charging me? Obviously it's great to have a chance to be around here. As I told anybody that'll listen, I'm here for the long haul. This is where I've always wanted to be. Appreciative of my boss, Damon and Colleen, that they've been able to do the things that keep me around. We'll continue to try to build this thing. I think anybody that's watched the trajectory of our program sees the improvement. We're not there yet, as I like to keep saying. We're a few players away, a couple plays away, and it's my job to go get those players and to create those plays so that we can take another step as we build a championship program.
Like two more to your left now.
Coach, you talked about Jay Sean Jones' career game. Given all the adversity he's faced in his career to go out with a game like this, just big picture, what does he mean to you and the program at the end of his career?
Well, let's start big picture. My first recruiting job is to recruit Jay Sean to come back and play. He has another COVID year. I know it's something that he's entertaining. You know, this guy shows the toughness that you want, the resiliency, all pillars of our program. And, you know, he's a guy that leaves it all on the field. I was really happy to see him be able to have the type of game today, coming off of 2 ACLs. The way he came and entered here with the big game against Texas, it was great to see him play the way he played today, and hopefully it's a precursor for what things look like next year for him if he decides to come back.
Fourth row, middle Kevin.
You talked about the bowl game being the start of the 2023 season. Today in the second half, we saw a lot of guys out there that haven't seen the field that much this season. Did you get a little head start there in the second half today, assessing where you're going in the future?
Yeah, we were fortunate because of the way the game played itself out to get some young players playing, and you know, we designed how we play them to be able to leave a game at the end for these guys to be able, like a year ago, the Roman Himbies and Antoine Littleton scored touchdowns in the bowl game. It was their first kind of full-time work. Today we're able to do that with some of the young receivers, Punch, Knotts, and Leon Houghton both played quite a bit. Octavian Smith, because of Rakim's injury, Octavian Smith was able to get some needed reps there. So anytime you can play young players, it's good because their development happens best when it's on the field, competing. And so we were fortunate to be able to do that today. And we'll use these bowl practices to continue to work on the fundamental things and get some of these guys going in the next game.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much.